Let's build a calendar table which we will use a lot when we create dashboards. It makes our life really easy when we do time series analysis on real world data. For example, if you want to see the sales of last 12 months based on the selected month, that is, if you selected November 2020, you should see the sales from December 2019 to November 2020. But if you select March 2021, you should see the sales from April 2020 to March 2021. Calendar table can help you do that. Let's build this calendar table which has the following columns. Date. This column will contain a series of consecutive dates. That means no date will be skipped in between. Month will indicate the month of the date and so on. Most of the columns are self-explanatory. We will talk about some columns and functions as we proceed. So the very first task is to populate a series of dates, and we will understand this with an example. We started our business in 2018, so we want to populate dates from 1st January 2018 to 31st December 2021. Is there an easy way to do it? Yes. Excel has a sequence function which can return a sequence of numbers. And as we discussed earlier, dates are nothing but a sequence of number in Excel. So let's populate 4 years of consecutive dates using sequence function quickly. The first parameter is rows, so an year has 365 days with the exception of a leap year which has 366 days. Between our 4 years, we only have one leap year, so we need to populate 365 multiplied by 4 plus 1, that is 1461 rows. So our first parameter is 1461. We have to enter values only in the first column, so we can keep the second parameter blank. The starting value would be 1st January 2018 and we need to increment our values by 1. Bam! Our list is ready. Change the data type to date and we have a list of consecutive dates starting from 1st January 2018 ending at 31st December 2021. If you are using an older version of Excel and you do not have access to sequence function, you can also use the fill feature to populate these dates. You will write 1st January 2018 in the first row, then you will go to fill, series. Now since you need to populate the values in this column, choose columns. The step value will be 1 and the stop value will be 31st December 2021. And using this also, you get the same result. Let's move to the second column, which is month. Straightforward, we will use our month function which we learnt earlier and it gives us the month corresponding to the date. For January, it is showing 1. When we select rows from July, it is showing 7. Year function will return the year on the basis of our date. To calculate year month, we will use another function text which converts a value in a specific date format. We are going to format our date as MMM and YYYY, which will give us short month name and the corresponding year for the date. We will use the same text function to get the short month name and the full month name. For short month name, we will use 3M's, while for the full month name, we will use 4M. For calculating quarter, we will use roundup function, which is similar to round function. The only difference is that it rounds off to the higher value even if the decimal value is less than 0.5. For example, if we use round on 1.1, it will return 1. But when we use round up, it will return 2. So we will divide our month by 3 and round up to 0 decimal digits, and this will give us the quarter. If calculating quarter was a little confusing, don't worry about it. Just learn the process and slowly you will get a hang of it. We can also calculate quarter using choose function. We will learn it in a later video when we talk about choose function. Let's move ahead and calculate weekday values for the date. For this, we will use weekday function and we will start our week with Monday. We get the value 1 for 1st January 2018, which means it must be Monday. Let's verify this by populating the weekday name as well. For this, we will again use the text function along with the option DDDD, and this confirms that 1st January 2018 was indeed a Monday. We will use weeknum function to calculate the week number of the date in the year. Again, starting our week with Monday. For start of the week, we will subtract weekday from our date and then we will add 1. Since our week starts on Monday, the value 1st January 2018 is correct for the first week. Let's understand this a little more. 15th December 2021 is a Wednesday. So we said our week starts from Monday, which means the start of week would be 13th December 2021. Now, how can we calculate this? We can do this by first calculating the weekday of 15th December 2021 with our week starting on Monday. So we will write weekday, this date, and for Monday, we will choose the option 2. We get the value 3. But if we subtract 3 from 15th December, we will get 12th December 2021. We know ideally to get Monday, we should only be subtracting 2. So let's add 1 to our result and now we get 13th December 2021. Let's verify it using our text function to ensure it indeed is a Monday. We will write text, we will select this date and 4 times t. So this indeed is a Monday. Now if we change our date to any other date, this formula will calculate the start of week correctly. Let's change our date to 31st December 2021 to verify this and we get the correct result. Let's change it to 3rd March 2022 and we get the correct result again. We will use EO month to calculate end of month by simply choosing the date and specifying 0 in months. For start of the month, we will again use EO month and we will choose -1 as months and finally we will add 1 to the result. Now let's talk about offsets in terms of dates. Current day offset signifies the difference of the mentioned date from today's date or in some cases from a particular specified date. So here we want to calculate the difference from the date in this row with today's date, which comes out to be -1408. That means 1st January 2018 was 1408 days ago from today. If we look at today's date, the offset would be 0. If we look at yesterday's date, the offset would be -1. And if we look at tomorrow's date, the offset would be 1. Now let's quickly understand how this current day's offset is used. For example, if we want to calculate the revenue of the last 100 days and it should refresh automatically, we can use the current offset date. We will apply a filter that the current offset date should be greater than -100 and it should be less than equals to 0. So whenever we will open our report or dashboard, it will show us the revenue of last 100 days. We will practice these offset when we move to our report and dashboard course. Similarly, we can use the year function to calculate the year offset date. We can also calculate the month offset date using a variety of ways, including date diff, but date diff does not work if the start date is higher than end date. So here we will keep it simple and we will work on current month offset in a separate video. We will also calculate the net working day offset using the net workday function we learnt in the earlier video. If you have worked on any data warehouse or any data visualization project, you will be able to appreciate the value of this calendar table. You can add many more columns on the basis of your requirement. You can customize it as per your needs. Do try creating the calendar table on your own. It will help you understand all these functions well and you will find it easy to use when we work on Power BI.